What is this video?
I don't know. Something about foster care.
What did you want to talk about?
You got a Rocco hair in your face, Holly. I got it. Don't worry.
Thanks.
We never really discussed that on camera, why we wanted to do foster care. We started taking videos of, like, before the classes and stuff like that, but we never actually talked about why we're taking the classes.
Yeah, so this is the Why Foster video.
It's a fantastic name. I like it. We'll stick with that.
We'll put the letters across. Why Foster? Oh, good Lord.
So
okay.
Why foster, Holly? Is it because you can't have kids and this is the only way to get kids?
Definitely not. Not that that's a bad thing.
How many times have you heard that?
If you can't have children, foster's a great way to go.
But
However,
don't assume.
Every time that somebody does foster care and chooses not to have children, or not even chooses not to have children, Joe and I know that we can get pregnant.
I can't get pregnant.
Well, I can get pregnant. He can get me pregnant. Nah. Anyways.
This is going to be more of a PG-rated video. We're getting kind of off topic here. Sorry, Rocco. He didn't like that.
Okay. So.
Yeah, don't automatically assume that somebody can't have children because they want to foster care. I mean, I would say, and the people that I know
that are doing foster, and even in our class.
No, I'm saying the people that I know personally, my friends, I would say 80% of them probably think that.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm doing it.
Yep. And back to what I was saying, Joe and I know that we can biologically have children because I've been pregnant before. I just happen to not make it full term. We haven't had biological children yet. And someday we might very well have biological children and we would be beyond happy for that. However, we have a strong calling to be foster parents because we've seen what a positive thing that it does for people. I have a strong connection to it because I know how much of an amazing blessing it is and how much purpose there is to it.
And knowing the good things helps you push you along, but you have to just have a want to do it. It's not about having kids. It's about helping people, and the people that we're helping happen to be kids.
Yeah, well, and I look at it like one day we might have biological kids, one day we might not. I don't know. I've never had a desire. I've always had a desire to be a mom, like without a doubt. That has always been a huge desire of mine, and I know a lot of girls want to be moms. Like, that's just what they do, but it's been a very strong desire of mine since I can remember. However, I have no desire to do it biologically any more than I have desire to do it through foster or adoption. Like, I have a strong desire to be a mom. I don't necessarily need to carry a child. And foster care, I mean, there's actually, it's going to be hard, and we know it's going to be hard. There's no way around that. There's going to be kids that make us
question why we're doing it.
There will be. But there's also so many benefits, and I'll have the opportunity to have that part in a kid's life, and I'll probably have an opportunity to be that part in a lot more kids' lives than I would be if I was just a biological mom.
And not necessarily just the kids' lives, but the biological parents of those kids' lives.
Yeah.
You'll have hopefully have a good impact. I know sometimes that's not possible to have a good impact, but
well, and a lot of times families might have ill feelings towards you because it looks like you're just taking their children, but our goal is never to take someone's children. Our goal is to help someone's children and be a good role model and a good part of their life for the time being. And if God blesses us with them full time, forever, that's amazing, and we'll take it and we'll love it. And it'll be amazing, but
that's not the goal.
That's not the goal. The goal is to foster, because these kids will be our kids in a sense. They'll always be their parents' kids, their biological parents' kids, but we will have that part in their lives, and we will be their foster parents for the rest of their lives. Our perfect setting would be to foster, and then if they go back to their family, their biological family, later on down the road, maybe they bring their wives and husbands to meet us, and we just want to have that positive role in their life. And the cool thing is that we'll have different kids in here. We won't always have just these kids. We'll have a much bigger role in a lot more kids' lives.
And another thing I've noticed, a lot of people are really confused on fostering and adopting. A lot of people think it's the same thing. when you tell them that you're going to be fostering, they say, well, what kind of kid are you looking for? I'm not looking for any certain kid. I'm just looking to help whatever kid fits in my family.
It is by far not child shopping.
No.
And that's kind of a frustrating thing to hear. I don't. It's not frustrating if people say it in a...
Yeah, a lot of people just don't know. A lot of people don't get it. Yeah, a lot of people just... They don't understand the difference between the two, but there is a difference between the two. Big difference. Adoption, if you go into it adopting, you're going into it knowing that you're getting a kid and you have the opportunity to keep them forever. Fostering is, like Holly said, could be a week, could be
forever.
A couple years. There's been times where you've heard a lot of people having kids in their home for a year and a half, 2 years, and they go back home with their parents or a family member in that original family, which is a great thing. Kids need their families, whatever that family is going to be. But if that doesn't happen, we'd be here to take care of the kid.
So there is, when you fill out paperwork and when you talk about this stuff, there is adoption, there's foster, and there's foster and adoption, or foster to adopt. We are in it for foster and foster to adopt, which means we are more than open and extremely happy to take in a child that we know is most likely going to go back to their family, their biological family, and we're more than happy and willing to take them for a week or a year or whatever and love them as if they're our own until their family is ready to take them in. And we are excited to do that. We're also in it for if we've tried and it's just not working out to where their biological family can keep them and God blesses us with them full time as an adoption scenario. We're also in it for that. So we are fostering to foster and we are also fostering to adopt. It just depends on the situation. And
we're open to either one.
We're open to both.
The goal is to get the kids back to their families, though.
Yeah, our goal is never to take a child in and...
Because how terrible would that be if you had a child and you had kind of a speed bump in your life and you couldn't afford to take care of them financially, or...
And things happen.
Maybe something, a couple of screws go loose in your head and you can't take care of them mentally. To lose your kids for a year, but to actually work at getting to be a better person, to take your kids back, you need that opportunity to be able to do that.
The cool thing is we're able to step in for the parents that are going through something and take that place for them and still love those kids and help them in every way that we can, but then still be able to send them back to their biological family and let life continue. And we know it's going to be hard.
And we know there's a lot of parents out there that just make horrible decisions.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
They have kids and they're not ready for it. And there's not going to be any way for them to ever be ready. And like we've said, we'll be there for that too.
Yep, we'll step in for adoption with open hearts and be extremely excited about that. But we'll also step in for foster with open hearts and be extremely excited about that. We're just excited to be able to have whatever part God wants us to have in their lives. Okay, and then another one is we're not in this for the perfect child. We're not in this for an infant. We're not in this...
I hope you get a healthy one. I hope you get one with no issues. You hear that a lot.
Don't say it in a negative way.
You hear that a lot.
People very kindly and very lovingly and in a meaning in a good way always kind of come up with the perfect scenario for you. Like, well, I hope you get a healthy infant. I do want the experience of having an infant in my home because that's an attachment that's amazing and infants are amazing, but I also want the experience of having older kids in my home too. We're not in foster or foster to adopt to get the perfectly healthy, perfect scenario infant. It's not going to happen. We're in it to help infants.
No kid is going to be taken out of their home and not have issues.
Absolutely. We're in it to help infants. We're in it to help toddlers. We're in it to help older kids. We're in this to foster whoever needs it.
Yeah, every child is going to have specific special needs.
But we're not in it for a perfect child.
What's a perfect child?
Yeah, there's no such thing. And the thing is...
Yeah, that doesn't exist. So that was our thoughts on why we're going to be doing foster care. We didn't film this before we started filming everything else that we filmed.
Yeah,
we should have sat down and done this, but maybe it's better we did it at the end. Because we've had many weeks to think about why you want to do it.
Although I feel like it hasn't changed too much for us because we kind of knew more.
We thought about this for years before we actually started anything official.
We thought about foster care for years, and then we went to the information meeting and waited a whole extra year before actually doing our class, because it is a huge decision to make. It is a life-changing decision, and it doesn't just affect you. It affects your family. It affects your
think about
social life, everything.
Think about, if you're interested in doing it, think about everybody you interact with, how they would handle it.
Your schedules change, your life changes. I mean, you're not going out RC racing or whatever you do with your friends.
I can't go RC racing.
You can, but you'll have a child tag along.
That's fine.
You'll be changing diapers and.
Well, if they're old enough, I'll give them their own car.
Well, I'm saying they'll be home doing that. Anyways. So, it's life-changing.
I'm not prepared to give that up yet.
We're excited to have part in that. I could go on for years on this. I could. It's
As
just
we can all tell, I haven't really spoke at all in this video.
I could literally talk for hours.
I thought I was going to have to cut it and tell her to take a breath.
I can't help it. Can you tell I'm passionate about it?